Welcome to the podcast Highways and Byways, a podcast about Texas. I'm your host, Chris Carlisle. They had a senior expo at the Cadence Bank Center, formerly the Bell County Expo Center, the other day. My sister took part in that. She works in home health. She works for a company called Aspen. When our mother was still alive, someone with the home health would come and do therapy with her. Speaking of my sister, her son Aaron, my nephew, who's in the Army stationed at Fort Cavazos, got promoted to sergeant. He went into the Army in the fall of 2020, a few months before my mother passed away. He came down for Christmas in 2020, and she got to see him. I went to the football game between Rosebud and Bosqueville last week. It's the first game I've been to in 10 years, and I saw a lot of new people. Anyway, I talk about it on my podcast, Oil Sports Podcast. On Friday, I went and ate at lunch at Miller's Country Market in Lott. I had a chicken parmesan sandwich. Miller's Country Market has a deli and a store. In the news, the big boy 4014 locomotive is going to be coming through Marlin on Wednesday, October 9th around 11:45 in the morning. They had a chili cook-off in downtown Lott on September 14th. It was put on by the Carolina Lodge number 330. They're going to have the 44th annual bazaar at the Kasi Methodist Church on October 5th. There's going to be a silent auction and a raffle. There's going to be a barbecue sausage with all the fixings. You can also get a sandwich. The live auction starts at 1 p.m. Among the items up for bid is you get to stay in a cabin at Estes Park Company. Looks like it's going to be a day of fun, food, and fellowship. They had an event for dogs in Belton on Wednesday. There was a write-up in the Temple paper about urging pet owners to take better care of their dogs. It also talked about a dog that was found between Temple and Little River Academy having to be put down. This is the time of year when there are crickets everywhere. I remember when I was growing up in Rosebud and seeing crickets all over Main Street and on the sidewalks. Food groups in Central Texas are facing food insecurity as inflation causes Americans to tighten their pocketbooks. There's a young man in Killeen hoping to be an EMT, even though he's fighting sickle cell. The Salvation Army is looking for bell ringers for its Red Kiddo campaign. Of course, that's what the song Silver Bells is about. Some schools in Belton have been named Purple Star designated campuses by the state of Texas. The Westphalia Butcher Baker is open in downtown Temple. They found pests in the kitchen at a restaurant in San Antonio. The band that was on tour in San Antonio had their equipment stolen. Twin brothers who were doctors in Dallas were sentenced to in a $45 million health scheme. They are investigating a possible West Nile in Austin. They found 100 dead fish after a water main break in northwest Austin. The feds say that the ex-vice president of Rodeo Houston stole millions from HLSR leaders. Next, the story of a Texas ghost town. There was a ghost town in Falls County called Bucksnort. That's Snort. Well, something else. Anyway, it was also called Saraville de Viesca and Fort Milam. Saraville de Viesca was founded in 1834 by Sterling C. Robertson, who named it after his mother and after Augustine Viesca, who was the governor of Coahuila y Tejas, who was located near the falls on the Brazos River. Folks left during the runaway scrape in 1836 during the Texas Revolution. Fort Malum was built nearby but later abandoned. Then the town of Bucksnort was built nearby, but it was abandoned when Marlin was founded. I remember when they were celebrating the sesquicentennial in Texas back in 1986. Texas had its centennial in 1936. They celebrated by having the World's Fair in Dallas, and U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt paid a trip to the fair in June. KTM Radio in Temple went on the air in 1936. Used to be on AM 1370 as a daytime station before moving to its current frequency of 1400 AM. Geico Insurance started in 1936. I remember going to the old Gibson stores, and it started in Gibson. The store chain started in 1936. I remember they had one in Cameron and one in Temple. They later put the first Walmart in Temple, where the Gibsons had been. I've eaten donuts at Shipley's, and Shipley's started in 1936 in Houston. The one on West Adams and Temple got some of the worst damage from the tornado back in May. President Roosevelt carried Texas as he was re-elected to a second term. The State Fair opened in Dallas on Friday. I've been to it a couple of times in 2010 and in 2017. Before I go, here's a word from the good book. It's the 5th Psalm, verse 12. For thou, Lord, will bless thy righteous with favor, with thou compass him as with a shield. Anyway, I remember. Oh, you gotta go. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by. I'll be taking a week off, but I'll be back the week after next at the same time. Be sure to hit the download button, leave a like and a rating, and a follow and subscribe.